welcome again to our second meditation for the season of Lent for week 2. And again, these meditations come to us from the Atlantic Liturgical Commission. Today we're very happy that members of our parish CWL will be leading us in this meditation. The reflection for today is written by Father Conrad Edwards, who is pastor at St. Joseph's Parish in Port Hawkesbury and chair of the Liturgical Commission for the Diocese of Antigonish.
A reading from the Gospel of Matthew. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, then he will sit on the throne of his glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate people from one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And he will put the sheep at his right hand, and the goats at the left. Then the king will say to those at his right hand, "Come, you that are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you took care of me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when was it that we saw you hungry and gave you food, or thirsty and gave you something to drink? And when was it that we saw you a stranger and welcomed you, or naked and gave you clothing? And when was it that we saw you sick or in prison and visited you?" And the king will answer them, "Truly I tell you, just as you did it to one of the least of these, who are members of my family, you did it to me." The Gospel of the Lord.
Reflection. A common experience. How refreshing a cold drink of water can be when we are parched from work or play on a hot summer's day. Nothing else refreshes and satisfies. Our bodies, made up of 60% water, crave it to satisfy our thirsts. For many, it abounds freely, and for so many more in our world, including some places within our own country, fresh water becomes even more precious as its supply is inadequate, unsanitary, or polluted. As we thirst for fresh water to meet our daily needs for cleanliness and refreshment, indeed, life itself, there is an even deeper thirst within us that cries out to be slaked. It is our deep thirst for God. Psalmist cries out, "O God, my soul thirsts for you." Psalm 63. Jesus, in meeting the Samaritan woman at the community well in the heat of the scorching day, asks her for a drink of water. In this encounter, begun with addressing this most basic of human needs with basic human kindness and a gesture of profound mercy to one in need, Jesus invites her and us into a deeper well of God's mercy and love for us. Jesus recognized that while he may have had this physical thirst, her life was parched from so much pain and struggle that could only be quenched by the love he was offering. In our gospel today, Jesus is inviting us to once again look at this simple and merciful offering, a basic offering of a cool drink of water to those among us who thirst. Do we turn a deaf ear to the parched cries of those who simply have no clean water? Do we recognize the many profound thirsts of our neighbors? Thirst for justice, thirst for hope, a thirst to be heard, a thirst so powerful from carrying their own cross in life that they too cry out with Jesus' own words from the cross, "I thirst." and duly recognize our thirst for the life-giving, soul-satisfying water that only Jesus offers. When we have been drenched in this living water, then we will be impelled to offer a cool drink of that water to the arid lives of those who long for living water. A friend has this uncredited saying on his wall: "Mercy is a gift from the heart of God that requires nothing of the soul, except that it turn to the Holy One, to be tended and loved and fortified and strengthened and made whole by the sweetness and kindness of God's grace. Let it be so for us." By Father Conrad Edwards, Diocese of Antigonish. For all those who thirst for holiness and justice, we pray to the Lord.
Lord,
Hear our prayer. For all deprived of clean drinking water, especially First Nations communities in Canada, we pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
For a deeper commitment to sustaining and dignity of each person in promoting access to clean water, we pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
For all terminally ill people to receive adequate hydration, we pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
For all experiencing desert times in their lives, to hear Jesus' words, "Let anyone who is thirsty come to me and drink," we pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Our Father,
Who art
who art
in
in heaven,
hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us.
and deliver us from evil. For ours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Some options for our mission to give water to the thirsty. Reduce your water consumption. Check your water bill and the amount saved by reducing consumption. Donate to the Development and Peace. The website will be below. Support your local water utility by reducing consumption of bottled water. Pay for coffee for a person behind you at your local coffee shop. Our closing prayer. Good and gracious God, the journey of Lent invites us to repair and restore relationships with God, self, others, and creation. Keep us faithful to these Lenten practices.